Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Genkai 808. We're playing Cyberpunk 2077 on PS5. I've been doing a little walkthrough and playthrough, rather, a little bit of both. I stopped playing the game on my PS4 because obviously the game was heavily broken. But now we're really taking a look at the updated version. But let's get right into it. I'm not exactly sure where we left off.
Great to have you back.
But
so then, did you all hear about that Arasaka aircraft carrier docked in Night City called Fujira or?
We're doing some side missions or something.
Apparently, the Corps
We'll
figured
see.
it was.
Let's get right into it. I'm discovering. What do I feel like doing? What do I feel like doing? I am playing on the hardest difficulty. The build, quote, if you want to call it builds, because there is kind of different ways you can play. I'm kind of going more techie based, and what I mean by tech based is like quick hacks and all that. But let's actually do a story mission. My bad if I feel so clunky with this, it's just I haven't really played this in such a long time. And the UI is updated for the PS5, so it's kind of newish too in itself. Oh, it's this guy. We're gonna avoid him because the area he's gonna want to take us to involves fighting some enemies that will tear me apart right now. So we're gonna go talk to Jackie. This is where you get your car. Driving in this game is kind of basic. You could drive first, third person, or whatever one you choose. But I prefer third. It's a little easier.
Woman of the hour. Jeez, it took you long enough. Worked up an appetite just waiting. Sit down, let me finish this. Then we can drop in on Senor Vector.
You mentioned something about a surprise yesterday. Am I remembering right, or just had a brain fart?
Probably both, because you usually forget shit. But it just so happens, I think I might have bagged us a sweet-ass J.O.B.
Go on.
I mean, maybe it's not as big as that, but just that it's fronted by a little-known someone named Dexter Deschamps. Only the top fixer in Night fucking City. Fat-ass black Jesus of the afterlife. 300 pounds of partly gold-plated cool.
I think about this game too. Most of the dialogue options don't really change much of like what really happens, but for our sake, we're gonna just kind of stick right to it.
So what's the gig? We meant to come out in one piece?
Every once in a while, you know, I might explore just a little bit for
face to face. No pressure.
my pleasure, if you want to say.
Deal's riding on you now, chica.
All right, let's hear what old Dex has to say. Set it up.
Dex is a real deal when it comes to fixers. Don't get me wrong. Don't got nothing against the Padre or Wakako, but Dex is in a league of his own. You know what I'm saying?
No, really, no.
It's always the same story. You land on fresh turf, local fixer waves his dick around, but he's smiling, saying you'll be up to your neck in gigs and eddies. Still, all you are is another name in their little black book. Nifty tool for getting them a fat slice of whatever half-baked shit pie their client put on the table. Sure, you crack jokes over drinks, but in the end, it's biz. Gracias a Dios. Estoy lleno. Brought your wheels. Gave them to my guy yesterday to smooth over the dents after our dust-up with scabs.
Thanks, Jack. Much appreciated.
Some top-notch work Miguel did. Rides like it looks. Factory new.
We'll see about that.
So we rolling or what?
Let's feel this factory new ride.
Here's the vehicle. Nothing special, but
First stop. Ripper Dock. Chica, easy on the gas, eh? I just ate. I was supposed to stop by Vic's anyhow. I got a date. Me and Misty.
You don't
clunky
say.
driving, but
She's so
it is what it
sweet.
is.
Really gets me, you know?
Hey!
Yeah, this is it. Come on, V. Find me once Vic's done dusting her circuits. We'll hash out what Dexter's good for.
So you see the skull, these guys, anytime you see that, that means they'll instantly just kill you. So don't bother.
Hey, V. Dr. Vector will see you now.
Geez, spry as ever, you old ripper. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, V. It's been a while. What do I owe the pleasure today?
Last gig, had to jack into a client's neuro socket. Think I might have gotten spiked.
Experiencing migraines, nausea, hypersensitivity to bright lights?
Oh, kit and caboodle.
All right, kid. We'll sort you out in a flash. Besides that, how are things?
Need some new kit, but tools, not toys, Vic. Time I bumped up my sights and got a grip.
Really? Now? Finally?
Vic, shit's getting real. Got a job from Dex Deshawn, hitting the major leagues. Need tech that can perform.
The Dexter Deshawn? Well, that is something. But let me guess. Hasn't paid you yet.
Quit crying, Vic. I'll bring you the eddies later with interest. You know I will.
There's a funny thing that I used to do. I used to get the money to actually pay them, and it would break the game. So I don't know if people do that now,
please.
but just don't do
Sit
that.
down and relax. Kuroshi Optics. Best I've got, and should be about right under the circumstances.
I know.
Now, Jackie,
I got you guys. For the ones who ever wondered, like,
You
what if you
peruse and
did
choose
have the
my
money
scan.
to like pay
See
them?
what's going
Yeah,
on
it breaks the
inside.
game.
Mark 1, like I said. Decent enough scanner. Displays data on your cornea. Cherry on the top's a built-in external lens disruptor. In layman's terms, any surveillance cam will capture your face as a blur. Just remember, your body will still show up as crystal clear. This should do the trick. Talks to Kuroshi Tech, too.
I'm ready. Carve away.
Excellent. Let's do this. Lay that major league arm of yours right here. Just like that. Thanks. Now, a bit of anesthetic and I can start cutting. Feel anything?
Same as always. Don't feel a thing. You ask me that every time, you know. Not as if things are gonna be any different today.
Sure thing, kid. I mean, not like there's any risk of a stroke or paralysis, but what do I know? I'm just a doctor. That's what I thought. Lights out for a minute, all right? Okay, let's test this. See the magic in action. Linking you in. You might feel a little discomfort at first. Blurred vision, low contrast, glitches. Well, how's it look? Feel all right to you?
Oh, this is fantastic, Vic.
Oh, beautiful.
So yeah, this is talking about scanning people. How earlier I showed you how that guy had a skull around him and it showed his abilities. That's basically scanning people.
Time for the scanner. It might take you a few seconds to adjust, but first time's rarely the charm, with anything, really. Scanner should eventually sync with your thought processes and read your intentions. I also injected an NCPD file search. Run into any ne'er-do-wells? You know exactly what they ne'er did well. It ought to work like a charm. Now draw your weapon. You should see your ammo count in a brand new sight.
Shit, Victor, not bad. I don't know what to say.
Say you'll take this and remember the dosage. 2 whiffs now, and another 2 in an hour.
You're the best, Vic. I owe you.
Go on, kid.
So yeah,
what
we
you're
did a
made
couple
of.
nifty
And once you
upgrades.
hit the big leagues, forget where you came from.
Still pet the cat. Doesn't really do anything.
Your heart chakra looks a little out of whack, babe.
Didn't talk to
Release it for you,
Jackie.
but you'd have to watch out for negative
And
energy
if I
fields
remember
and
correctly,
avoid
we're gonna
mean
meet
reds.
Dexter
V,
Deshawn.
yo, listen up. I talked to Dex while you were in with the doc. He's waiting in his ride. For you. Ain't but a hop to where he's parked. Next to Gramsci Burgers.
Okay. Do my best to talk us up.
V, listen. I've got this delicate matter. That's why I called you. The number of cyber psycho attacks in the city is on the rise. Now that's probably not news to you, but this issue matters to me for a few reasons. There are people who say cyber psychosis can be treated.
Right.
And I know exactly how that sounds, but I believe even an unproven therapy is still better than a bullet to the brain. If I get a tip about a possible attack, I'll give you a call. Maybe you can investigate before MaxTac hits the scene. But remember, you're not there to execute anybody. Try to incapacitate the attacker, and I'll send someone to pick him up. I hope that's all clear.
So this is an introduction to the game's kind of lethal and non-lethal like morale system. Again, doesn't really matter. It's just your personal taste. Are you personally okay with quote quote killing an in-game person? You know, but for game purposes, it doesn't kind of, you know, change much of what happens.
Yo, Miss V, a pleasure.
Dexter Deshawn in the flesh. Ample indeed.
Let's roll. Mind if I ask you something right off the bang? Would you rather live in peace as Miss Nobody, die ripe, old, and smelling slightly of urine, or go down for all times in a blaze of glory smelling near like posies without seeing your 30th?
And this question is kind of more of your personal
There's some sort of test.
taste,
Just a pet topic of mine.
how you view that type
Riddles?
of thing.
No, Miss V. Ontology. Alright, listen close. Scanning a serious job now. Playing gargantuan compared to smashing up a scav home.
Let me hear it. What's the job?
There's this prototype tech. A biochip to be precise. Job's to grab it. Simple.
Guessing it belongs to a corp?
Arasaka. Surely that's
For
no
this
problem.
mission, it would be good to have the backstory of
Corps don't deserve
corporate
special
because you're gonna intimidate
Shit.
that woman
You ain't playing
that you
around.
gotta talk to.
Got a feeling this
And
could
it
be the
kinda
start
gets
of a
you,
beautiful friendship built on
I guess,
heaps
an
of
edge.
You work this out? Got a plan?
Two things. First, a conundrum with the Maelstrom boys. Needs active resolving that. Second, a rendezvous. Simple. Client who brought us the
If I
job's anxious.
remember,
She wants to parlay with one of the team.
At the end of this sequence,
What's the issue needs resolving with Maelstrom? Got a beef?
I'll show a little clip of like what I mean as having the backstory of corporate where you can intimidate the woman.
Got a classic tale for you. Psycho gang doing his thing 2 weeks back. Jumped a Militech convoy. Got away with the gear. Corp don't even know Maelstrom's involved. Now see, convoy was carrying the Flathead, a little combat bot, a prototype. And I need me that bit of high-grade military tech. Because if we don't get that bot, we don't get no soccer chip. And we sure as hell don't get no happily ever after. But don't get excited. It's a single-use toy. Now, I flat out purchased the damn thing from Maelstrom. Problem is, I did so from a gent went by the name of Brick. I say when, because Brick was the leader. 3 days after we'd sealed our deal, his friend and gangmate, one Simon Randall, a.k.a. Royce, plain dropped his ass. Royce is in charge now, and I got no way of knowing if he aims to honor his predecessor's word. To add to this shit,
This is the
one merited
woman I was
solid
talking about.
Militech has developed an interest in said convoy.
Who's the prima donna?
Corpo agent, internal affairs. Been skidding around town asking after the convoy as if her life depended on finding it. The one lead she's got zip-tied in her trunk. Stick up her ass ain't growing any shorter, so she must be getting desperate. Be wise to think how you could use that. Of course, to do so, you'll need that frazzled cat's info. Sending it now.
Client. What's her thing? Why does she need to meet?
Woman's name's Evelyn Parker. Betting her wasn't easy. Put the word out I was looking for any kind of intel.
Right, and?
Some brothers from Pacifica got back to me. Told me to stop looking. End the convo. Anyway, our little client insisted on meeting someone with skin in the game. You know, who'll be there for it all. Yours truly will be remote. T-Bug ain't no people person, and Jaggy's only good at some things. I know you know what I mean. Pretty much leaves you.
Think I got everything. Time I got to work.
Well, that's just music to my ears. I'll set up the meet with Miss Parker at Lizzie's bar. Flathead, though, is gonna be all you.
So I think you got kind of 2 missions to do. You meet with Evelyn Parker, and then you get this Maelstrom bot from those guys. So you kind of get a little action sequence, and then you get just more of talk, and then like a small little battle. But we're not gonna do either of those in this video because it's a little long. But next one we'll dive into one of them. Probably pick actually we're gonna do something else. We're gonna do some side quests because getting the Maelstrom bot, the enemy's getting kind of be
One more
overwhelming.
thing, Miss V. Quiet life or blaze of glory?
Yeah, so they can kind of be a little challenge on this
Later
difficulty,
now.
and I just want to have like a little power to it. Don't want to keep getting dropped and dropped. So yeah, that's the end of that mission.
Jackster, talk to Dex.
Yeah, Gordito's a big deal. Literally a nine.
Guy certainly knows how to protect his biz. Wants to put us on a few small kinks. Prep work, I guess. Before lining us up a big job. There's this combat bot military prototype. Maelstrom clept it. Then Dex paid to take it off their hands just before the Gangoons had a switch up in management.
Right. Heard about that. Royce versus Brick. Hostile takeover.
Well, it sums it up. Dex wants us talking to Royce. Gave the deets of some Militech agent too, but don't know how much help she stands to be. Yeah, you don't sound thrilled. Royce, what do you know about him?
He's fucking whack, something special. Junkie snort junk. Royce snorts chrome.
Then there's the other thing. Gotta meet the client who put the job on the table, Evelyn Parker.
You? Well, what's Dex gonna do? Ride around in his limo, chat chicks up on the hollow?
Parker wants to meet someone on the crew. Dex gave me the nod.
He must know what he's doing. So, how you want to play this? Maelstrom or Parker? What's first?
Like I said, we're not going to do either, but we are going to just do, in our first sake,
I say we
Maelstrom.
knock on Maelstrom's door first. Pound, actually.
Orale. In that case, I'll hit the all foods. Put my nose to the ground. Sniff around. Hasta luego.
Alright guys, that's the end of this video. In the next video, we're going to kind of just grind, get ourselves a little more powerful before we can handle the enemies, because they are just absolutely absurd on this difficulty. But thank you for watching.